last name?
Duran. Okay, so my birth story is basically going to be how my parents met and like how my siblings came to like be here and everything. Not like literally, but so it starts off because how my parents met. My mom's cousin and my dad's sister got married. So they both came here from Mexico and they were living in a house near like Anaheim. So they grew up there and, well, they didn't grow up there, but they met there. They both came from Mexico and they got to connect there. So once they started to meet there, they like started going out for like a good year. They were in a relationship for a year. Then my dad had to move back to Mexico to get help to help his mom with everything that was going on in Mexico because they were living like they lived like in an area where like medicals, like all like the bad stuff were going on. So my dad had to go back there and help my grandma get through it. So after they met, over a year, I was born. My dad, I was an unexpected child, like most children are, most unexpected. So I was very unexpected. My dad was in a mindset that he did not want to have children because he was the oldest of like 7 kids. So he did not want to have kids of his own. So I was not really like, my dad didn't really want me. So my mom kind of went through the pregnancy by herself because my dad was like very not okay with it. So when after I was born, of course, he saw me. He's like, yeah, that's my daughter. So he accepted me. And then 6 years passed. My mom wasn't able to have, she wanted to have another kid, but she wasn't able to have a kid for 6 years. So that concludes to how my brother was born. So after that, after 6 years of the gap of my mom not being able to get pregnant, she tried a bunch of stuff, but she just couldn't. Like, she went to doctors, she said she could have kids, but they didn't understand why she couldn't, like, produce the kid. So after 6 years, my little brother was born. So my dad was mad again, because he, in his mindset, was like, I'm only gonna have 1 kid, and 1 kid only, which was me. So when my brother was born, he was happy because we didn't, through the whole pregnancy, like, my brother never showed, so we didn't know it was a boy or a girl. So when my brother was born, it was like a big, like, happy conclusion for my dad. So then, after that, my dad had set his mind to believe that we're only gonna have 2 kids his entire life. So 2 years after my brother was born, my sister was born. And 2 years after my sister was born, my other sister was born. So then my dad's whole mindset of having just 1 kid to just 2 kids turned into having like 4 kids in total. So every pregnancy, he was always mad. So he was always like, I like the idea of having like kids. He just didn't think like he was gonna have so many. Because he was okay with like that whole 6-year gap. He was okay with it. So my mom's like having all of us was so like unexpected. My dad didn't want it. But like I'm like thankful that we all had, so because I grew up with like siblings. Like we're 6, me and my brother are 6 years apart. So we really don't hate each other. We get along. So that's my conclusion of how like everything came to be.